The people. All right. Well, I guess he's going.
Hey! This meeting is being recorded.
It's always recorded, man.
Great.
Government.
Just put my makeup on.
That was quick.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Just about to start, so let's go ahead and get started, guys.
All right.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Three Geeks Podcast. It's Jason, joined by Max, John, Dan, Scott. We got our buddy Brian from Michigan, and special guest Hallea. Is that how you say your name?
Yeah.
Hallea. Nice. So, as usual, check us out on all social media, Three Geeks Podcast, all that fun stuff. So, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. It's a gray day outside, which is, a gray day. But so far, so good. Had my coffee, and now I'm talking with you all. So it's a good day.
Awesome.
Are you in LA or are you up in Canada?
I'm in Canada.
Okay.
Okay, I gotta know, what does Hallea mean?
Hallea is a
Hallea.
name my mom, I'm so used to it. A name my mom came up with during my parents' honeymoon in Maui, Hawaii, and named after a volcano in Maui called Haleakala. So my mom shortened it and took out added an L, and now I have a name hardly ever anyone pronounces right at first guess, but I'm okay with that.
Definitely very good.
I'm kind of sad she didn't go with the whole thing.
Yeah.
With the whole thing, and then you can make Hallea on your own.
Yeah. Well, as a kid, I was one of those kids that was like, my name is super cool. It's Haleakala. And then I took like my mom's middle name and my middle name and like just made a really long name for myself. As if Hallea isn't hard enough on its own.
But then like people you don't like, you could just give them the full name and make them try. Just like.
Oh yeah, just give it. Yeah, for sure. I've had many times of just trying to correct people. Like I remember my fourth grade teacher just always called me Hallea, and I'm fine with people mispronouncing it because there are unique names out there that aren't like they aren't Hillary or whatever, but when it's intentional where it gets to the point where you're not trying anymore, it's like, I'm not going to change my name for you. This is my name, and it's up to other people to understand that name. And I think that goes for every name out there that's not a basic name that everyone hears every single day. So I don't take it personally at first, but after a while it's kind of like, okay, let's work on this.
How is the pandemic in Canada? Because I'm kind of curious how other states, other regions, other countries in this instance are dealing with this horrific situation we find ourselves in with COVID-19.
Yeah, I was hoping that I didn't mishear you, or that you said, how was the pandemic? Because it is very much still on.
No.
Like, we got to talk about some things right now. Yeah, it's honestly, for me personally, I've unfortunately for many people, it's been a very devastating thing, and I understand that, and I see that. For me personally, I've experienced it as a blessing in disguise. My brother and I, he's a musician, I'm a musician, acting, all this stuff. So we have very busy lives that keep us up until 4 a.m. and have crazy all over the place schedules. And my parents are snowbirds, so we hardly ever see family. We're hardly ever together. So my brother and I basically have moved out of our apartments and moved up north with our parents. And so we've been here for about 2 months now, and we're working on an album together. And so it's been nice in that personal bubble. In the way of the pandemic in the city, I'm in Toronto. it was really interesting. I live like right in the core where it's pretty loud. And for about 2 weeks, it was just like dead silence. It was very strange and eerie for some time. But yeah, people followed it pretty well. And then, you know, I think everyone got bored of it. Like we're seeing all over the place now. And then they were like, oh, let's go and crowd Trinity Bellwoods, which is a huge park in downtown Toronto that was just down the street from my house. And so it's been interesting. I feel incredibly lucky to have a place outside of the city to spend with my family, and I've been trying to make use of it by saying it's okay to do whatever I want to do, you know, just like sit and just think and like not feel like I have to do something all the time, but still activating my creativity and keeping on top of being active and being creative and doing something with my time. You know, like a lot of reading and educating and stuff like that. So it's been different for a lot of my friends have experienced it in vastly different ways, but I feel really blessed and privileged and grateful to be able to spend it with my family. So that's a good thing coming out of it.
Yeah, you got to make the best of the situation, you know, whether it's, you know, picking up a new hobby or reconnecting with friends via social media or whatnot.
Exactly.
So yeah, most definitely. Well, you're most known for your role as Eden Hawkins on Netflix show Lock and Key.
Mm.
So would you take us through the process of landing that role?
So about 3 years ago, I got with my agent, started auditioning, and I got this audition, and the Eden's name was actually Tara at first. So that's like the first thing I remember about it. And it was an in-room audition compared to a self-tape at home audition. And I like in-room auditions because you could go in and you can make like the casting director laugh a little bit and have like a little rapport. And I'm a very bubbly, outgoing person. So I feel like that's my comfort area, which I guess they're not going to be doing in-room auditions for a very long time. But I went in and I actually fumbled one of the scenes so many times, and the casting director was so great and gave me I think 3 tries or something. So I walked out of that audition being like, I'm not getting that role. Like I just completely screwed that up. But I got a call a few weeks later, and usually it's either you hear within a couple of days or like weeks later that you've booked something. But I got a call from my agent and saying that like the papers are pretty much there. Like you've got it. And me being naive and new to it, I was like, oh, that's good. Like other casting directors will see that I booked something. Like that's cool. And my agent, like silence on the other side of the phone. And they're like, Hallea, this is in a different stratosphere than that. Like this is a different thing. So I was kind of very surprised to see how big it was, because I was like, I feel very lucky to in the early stages to have been a part of something as big as Lock and Key, and I don't think I really realized how huge it was until the premiere night at the Egyptian Theater in Hollywood. Like that was walking that red carpet and just like seeing these big interviews and like a bunch of fans like lining up down the street. Quick funny story, the day of the premiere I was walking down Hollywood with one of my best friends and my mom, and we're just walking along, and then all of a sudden my mom sees a sign and she's like, hey, that's Lock and Key people. And there was this long line of people beside this tattoo shop, and I thought it was like free tattoo day. Like I don't know, like I just thought it was a long line of people. And on this little sign, it said Lock and Key waiting area. And that was for the premiere of all the people who did all of like the, you know, woo, people coming, like that kind of thing. And so I stopped and I started chatting with people. And because I'm not part of the comics, they didn't know who Eden was, but they sure knew who she was after watching it. And that was my first run-in with like being a part of something that was way bigger than me, which I found really cool. So it's been a huge process of a new experience for me, which has been really fun.
I want to get into the music, but I have to ask you a question. One of my favorite comedies out right now is Working Moms, and you got to be in an episode. What was that like?
Yeah. So that was, funny enough, my first ever audition. And on my way to the audition, my agent told me that they were actually looking for someone older, but go in anyway. And I think I just sassed them so much. I gave them so much sass that they were looking for, that they were like, yep, this girl's got the sass for this. But yeah, that was fun. It was just a day shoot. It was just a quick little shoot, but it was fun. It was my first time being on set with actors I had seen, on Working Moms. And I don't watch a lot of TV, but I had seen a few episodes of Working Moms before that, and it was cool. It was really cool. And one of my best friends is an actual, like, a mom, and she loves that show. So it was a very exciting time for both of us.
Going back to Lock and Key for a moment, how did you prepare for the role of Eden? Did you have a lot of leeway since the character's kind of newer to the world of Lock and Key? Did you get a little more leeway to just kind of, go with the flow and see what works? Or was there kind of more stringent parameters as to how you could play that role?
I think from the conversations I had with Meredith and Carlton and Kevin, the producers and showrunners, what they most liked about my audition was that I made them laugh. And I think a lot of people went in to audition for Eden just being, like, brutally mean. And I think, to add a depth to a character is to give that, the smile with the horrible words, and putting that together was what they really liked. And so for me, this is a whole new process of creating a character, because everything before Lock and Key was like a 2-day on set job at most. And so with Lock and Key, it was 6 months of, sometimes filming several days within a month, sometimes filming like 1 or 2 days in a month. So there was this constant going into work and reading the script of what we were doing that day and knowing that this is who Eden is. Okay, where is she today? What is she feeling today? And that was a new process and challenge as a budding actor of learning about myself within Eden and bringing out those parts of myself and implementing them into Eden that I was learning through the whole process, which was very exciting. And I'm sure season 2 is going to be a very strange world of trying to challenge myself in the way of, no spoilers, but of what's going on in Eden's head next season. And I feel like the people who take on biopics and characters who are already written, people who love the comics already have an idea of who Kinsey is and who Tyler is and who Nina is, who Sam is, and how they talk in your head and how they, have all these little things. And then taking on that role as an actor is I find that's hard. That's really hard because people have an idea, a preconceived idea of who you are. So I feel lucky with Eden to be able to have leeway of creating this idea of who she is, and kind of playing around with that and going off of what we know works, but also trying new things. So that was a very interesting experience for sure.
Could I ask a question here? I just say that my family watched the show religiously, loved it. It was family friendly, so we appreciated that. And your character was so effective because in the beginning she was so not likable, and you just nailed this character, and that's a sign of good acting. But the scene where you're being controlled seems to me like you almost had to have like dance capabilities, and I'm wondering, was a lot of that improv, or was it choreographed, or a little bit of both?
It's my favorite question, because it's my favorite scene ever. I think it's my favorite scene I might ever do in my whole career. When I originally read that scene, I thought they were going to throw me in and just say, go figure it out. Netflix doesn't work like that. I had 2 movement coachings and choreography sessions with Roberta Campanella and Lindsay Somers, so an intimacy coordinator and a choreographer. And we kind of worked together on it. And truth be told, I wasn't a dancer growing up, contrary to popular belief. But I've always been athletic and flexible and very like hand-eye coordinated, I guess, and I knowing how to, work my body, whatever. And so we did 2 sessions together of figuring out like how to make this work with this. And that it was definitely not a throwing it into the wolves, figure it out kind of situation. All of the filming of that scene, we did everything multiple times except for the last shot. So as soon as you see Eden with the hand coming up and taking her back and going straight to the mayo or whatever it was, ranch, that was done one time, and that whole spill thing was done one time because, you have to go and wash and do your makeup and stuff like that again. But yeah, I had some padding on, not much. I never wanted to use a stunt double. They had one for me if I wanted, but I was like, nope, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try it. I want to have fun. And Mark, the director, was just fantastic in helping me through it and making sure I was comfortable and, really making me feel like I was kicking ass. So it felt good.
Oh, it was awesome.
Thank you so much.
So
when
go
you
ahead,
get,
Max. Go ahead.
When you get to play a mean or an evil character, now there's like 2 ways it can go, and obviously like your character's got an arc, and so she may, we might get to see her side of things. But do you go for that, like, I want to be like Prince Joffrey, like that guy had to go like volunteer in Africa somewhere after he played Joffrey because like everyone hates that guy, even though like he did such a good job playing this character that you literally hate the dude. You can't take away Joffrey from that kid's face. So did you shoot for that when you were playing, when you were bringing that into the role, or were you like, I kind of want people to want me around after this?
Yeah, so as an actor, you kind of go through this weird psychoanalysis of like, am I this person? Are people going to think I'm this person? Are they going to think I'm horrible? And the actor who played Joffrey, like, I'm pretty sure he had to quit acting because of just like, you get typecast in that. And I think before Lock and Key, I had this fear of being typecast as the popular mean girl, and here I am. But I think it's up to me to, outside of acting, do all I can to completely step out of that, because that's not who I am. And I really want to work with, anti-bullying organizations and everything that's going on with the world right now, and voicing my opinion, for voicing my beliefs and my support for what is good in the world, and not getting trapped in this idea of like, this is who I am beyond the screen. And I remember one day, this scene when Scott is showing Kinsey the splattering movie in that room, and Eden comes up and just says that horrible little monologue about like, just because you want to be a director doesn't mean that you are one. And she says it with a smile on her face. And I remember doing that scene and walking out of the scene when they called cut, and the sound guy said, "Oh, I love how you play a bitch, because you play it with a smile on your face." And I was like, well, as long as like I'm just playing life with a smile on my face and not being a bitch, because I just having to turn it off, of course. But like outside of, like I said, like outside of acting, like it's important and imperative to make sure that I'm counteracting that with who I really am, and doing all I can to counteract that with doing good and being a part of, all of the things that I can be a part of in the way of anti-bullying organizations, because I do not want a bunch of Edens running around the world and being like, oh, it's okay, I saw it on Netflix. Like, I'm like, oh no, that's not what I stand for. So
That's really cool. I mean, speaking to the way why they picked you for the character is your natural, let's do it with a smile, let's all have fun, let's all laugh, combined with just this evil, the nastiness, that normally it would, a person would just be scowling or very angry when they're saying these things, and you're like, nah, ha, 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 it's all funny, but it's all terrible. That adds a lot to the character, so that's pretty cool too. But obviously, bullying is wrong, and then people should be who they are, and yada yada. It's very important that you see your character is wrong, but it's cool that's why I feel like maybe that's one of the reasons why you got the role.
Yeah, I just don't want to condone people being horrible, because that's, I think it's interesting that I look back on who I was in high school, and I wasn't a very happy kid. I wasn't good in school, so I always acted out because of that, as kids do. When you're not doing good in something, you become the class clown. And I was very much that kind of kid. And the things that I did at certain times, I've pulled from that as Eden, and I've worked very hard through the past few years. I graduated high school about 5 years ago, and that was a really dark period in my life. And I've taken parts of that person I was in high school and implemented them in Eden. And that's actually helped me further understand the reasons I acted that way, and apologize to my past self instead of, regretting it, learning from it. And I want to do all I can outside of being on set to say, I'm not a perfect human. I was in certain ways this, not the greatest person, but I'm learning from that. And why was I that way? Why is Eden this way? Why might a girl look at Eden and love who Eden is? Some of these fan accounts on Instagram being like, I love Eden Hawkins. I'm like, no, this is not good. So yeah, just identifying the subconscious of a character like that has helped me understand myself better and other people, and living life with more compassion, and understanding that people aren't, when they act this way, it's not usually a personal thing. It's something that they're struggling with. And so I think adding that depth to Eden is something that's really important. And going forward with season 2 and how Eden's going to be, in season 2, I have no idea yet. I don't have the scripts, which is just I want the scripts. I want to see what happens. But it's going to be really interesting fighting Eden's inner demons in so many ways.
Just a few more things, and then we'll let you go. John, you had a question?
I have a question about another project that you were involved with. You had a role on the Amazon show The Boys, and I was a big fan of the show. I'm a big fan of the comic book. How was that experience working on that series? Because they are night and day. As Brian mentioned, Locke and Key, very family friendly. The Boys, not so much.
Well, no, but I feel like Eden would fit in The Boys.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because what's night and day is Eden is promiscuous. She's out there. She's herself. She's unapologetic. And then I didn't even have a name in The Boys. It was just older girl. It was one day of filming, and this character is she's at a Jesus convention. She's probably never seen a naked boy in her life, let alone look at her. She's very pure, but at the same time, that character, even though I had only one line, I kind of went into the psychology of asking that line of the line in The Boys was, well, did you have sex with him? She's wanting to know more about Starlight. She's wanting to know more about this world beyond the one that she's been raised to believe in. And I think that character was kind of fighting with what everyone else was telling her, and fighting with herself of just being well, I want to know more. But being surrounded by people who were telling her, like, no, this is how you should be. And like the pastor in that amazing scene just shoots down Starlight for speaking her truth, and is saying, like, you know, lie to these kids. And yeah, that was a really interesting day, because it was like this huge festival fairgrounds of just Jesus convention. And I'm not a religious person, so I'm like walking around and I'm like, what is going on? But yeah, it was a really, really fun day on set. It was a long one, but it was very
Did you enjoy
interesting.
the Jesus Festival? I mean, like, did they have this stuff like actually going? Like, you know, like, were there like carnival rides for Jesus and stuff like that? Like, did they just make a day of it?
No, actually, like it was a full set, but it was like there were Jesus pins, and it was just like all of these pamphlets and things, and like everything that, you know, it's funny when you watch like a lot of shows, you think that it's actually something that's happening and that they just like rented it out for a day. But like they make these full sets, like everything down to every single little pin is all printed just for the set, just for filming. And yeah, it was super funny because I'm not a religious person by any means. So walking around this Jesus convention in like this very like good Catholic or Christian schoolgirl, whatever, and I'm like, oh, this is not who I am, but I'm an actor. So it was funny.
No, I think they're missing out. You know, like they could have just had, like they already made everything. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is real. Like it's all there. Have Jesus Day. Sell tickets. Like you guys are missing out on an opportunity. Just let people know, like, hey, you're getting this discounted price for Jesus Day because we're filming everything. And then, like,
well, yeah, that part of Ontario would probably be super down. Just like let the churches know we've got everything ready for you.
Producers out there, if you're looking for ways to recoup some funds, and you have a you know, some sort of festival in the middle of your movie, maybe just sell tickets.
Same with carnivals. Yeah, exactly.
All right. John, do you have anything else?
Well, just real quick, Hallea, before we let you go, last final question. Can you tell us a little bit about your music career?
Oh yeah.
Just real quick.
Right now,
Yeah, you know, totally.
It's real quick. Well, there's nothing. I don't really have much out online right now. I do have a SoundCloud, just under Hallea Jones, that I create these little things called mini muses. So I don't know how to produce. I'm learning. I'm teaching myself how to produce. But like I create these little things with samples and loops and little piano things. And so I've posted a few on my SoundCloud. And then this summer, my brother, who's an incredible multi-instrumentalist and producer, we're working on a bunch of songs. So we just did 3 songs this week that we're really excited about. And we're working on like having a schedule for every single, you know, day almost to be in the studio and creating music. And then we're hoping to release a bunch of that as of next springtime, summer. So 2021, not 100% sure, because depending on filming, I need to make sure that those coincide with each other. But yeah, it's an exciting new little venture that I'm really hoping to get out into the world soon. And that, along with Lock and Key, are all pretty exciting projects going on right now in my life. So you can keep up with that all on my Instagram and stuff. So yeah.
Before they let you go, if I could be so bold, I have original music for my graphic novels, and I'm always looking for original music to collaborate with my graphic novels. I use them in the trailers, and I give them to my fans that buy the book, the MP3s. So if that's something that you would consider, I'm just going to throw that out there.
Check out the SoundCloud that I have, because I have a few things, especially the first one called This Time, that I feel like manipulating that kind of song for graphic novels, I'd be super interested in doing. I'm always creating new stuff, so always happy to challenge myself and explore. So let me know. Just send me an email.
Speaking of
shall do that.
Speaking of emails and social medias and whatnot, Hallea, where can folks find you online?
Basically, my Instagram is the key to my world. Instagram, yeah, Hallea Jones is all it is. And then also my Twitter, and those are basically the top spots to keep up with everything.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for spending some time this morning to sit down and chat with us about Locke and Key and your music and all of your other projects. And we appreciate it so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
Awesome, Hallea.
Yeah.